Hi everyone. This week we're going to focus on three-dimensional figures. You already know the basic vocabulary of prisms, pyramids, cones, cylinders, and spheres. However, in geometry, high school geometry, we're going to be defining these a little more specifically and be able to draw them. So please follow along with me and write this all down in your notebook. We'll start with prisms. Prisms are defined as 3D shapes that have two parallel bases and rectangular lateral sides. And I'll explain what this means. So let's say, for example, we wanted to draw a square prism. Use a pencil for your drawings because you will need to erase a little bit. So draw two squares that are approximately the same, so they should be congruent, and you're simply going to connect the vertices that match up to the bottom left corner to the bottom left corner. I'm going to do this as a dashed line to give you some sort of a perspective, and then connect each of the vertices as so. Now with your eraser, you can erase a little bit of the lines in the background so you can see a little bit better the perspective of this. So the two sides that are parallel to each other, those are our bases here. Since we called it a square prism, I want my bases to be square. So all four of these sides are congruent to each other. And there's your square prism. We will always highlight our bases so that we can identify them, and we name prisms by their bases. Okay, the next example is going to be a triangular prism. One common misconception, by the way, is people tend to believe the base has to be on the bottom. That is not necessarily true. The base is always going to be the one that's shaded in and the one we identify by the name. So whatever is in the name, that is our base. So for triangular prism, similarly, I'm going to draw a triangle. In this case, let's do a right triangle. Doesn't matter what kind of a triangle you have. Again, draw the same right triangle a little bit farther away, or as similar as you can. Connect the vertices that match up. And then feel free to erase a little bit of those lines, make them dashed, so you can get a sense of what this looks like in 3D. Then highlight your bases. There's your triangular prism. So you can have any polygon for the base. You can have a hexagonal prism, a trapezoidal prism, a pentagonal prism, whatever you want, as long as your bases are parallel and you have two of them. That is key for a prism. Similarly, we're going to look at pyramids. Oops, spell that right. P-Y-R-A-M-I-D. Pyramids are also 3D shapes, but this time around, instead of two parallel bases, we only have one base. So one base, and instead of rectangular lateral sides that we had in prisms, For pyramids, we will have triangular lateral sides. For a pyramid, you need at least 3 triangular lateral sides. I'm going to show you a square pyramid first so that you can see the difference between the pyramid and the prism. To draw the square pyramid, similar to this prism, I'm going to take a square. Okay, this is going to be my base. And just put a point somewhere above the square or below, left, right, doesn't really matter. I'm going to put a point right here. This is going to be the vertex of this pyramid, and then simply connect that point to each of the vertices of the square. And then just like the prism, I'm going to erase some of the lines so you can see this a little bit better in 3D. Clearly I'm not the best drawer, but gets the job done there. Highlight your base and you'll see there's just one base there. And your lateral sides are all triangles. In fact, let's identify that. So that's our base. And these are our lateral sides. And we have 4 sides here, so we have 4 triangles for the lateral sides. Okay, the next example is a triangular pyramid. This is not going to be the nicest looking pyramid, but we'll do the best we can. Take a triangle for the base, put a point somewhere above, and then connect the 3 vertices. The back I'm going to do with a dashed line, and then again erase some of these lines. Highlight my base. And there you have it, a triangular pyramid. Just like the prism, you can have whatever shape you want for the base, and again, it is named by its base. So whatever is the shape of the base, we use that in the name and then pyramid after. The other 2 shapes we're going to be looking at are cylinders and cones. Cylinders are 3D shapes that have circular bases. So 2 circular bases that are parallel. So it's similar to your prisms where you have a pair of bases that are parallel, but here specifically we have 2 circles. So draw a circle, draw another circle, and then simply connect. If you want to make it look fancy, you can erase some of your lines in the back. And then highlight your bases. Cones have just one base, similar to the pyramid. One circular base. Let's draw a circle, put a point, connect that vertex with 2 sides of the circle. Not the best looking cone here, but you get the picture. Highlight that base. Yikes, that's a pretty bad looking cone. And finally, we have a sphere. To draw the sphere, just make a circle, and then to make it look kind of three-dimensional, we do that. So these are the 5 3D figures we'll be finding surface areas of this week. So watch the next video to learn how to do just that.